Hi, this is Latin. Hope everyone is staying safe, and we're back with Software Inc.'s Beta-1 Play and Learn series. Today, we're going to be covering reviews, looking at everything and coming up with a strategy to manage it. We have a lot to cover, so let's get started. We're in January 1997. We have 45.3 mil in the bank, 603.7 in investments, 79.6 mil in stocks. That's growing. I'm going to show you guys how I grew that. 1,645 in plots for a total of 730.3 mil. And we're going to go to the $1 billion and cap this at $1 billion. Informational purposes. Okay, messages we reviewed in the last. We're going to leave that alone. Anybody who wants to do what we said in reference to these messages, what to do. This was episode 18, the missing episode. And there's a message at the end of that episode that will tell you exactly what I mean by missing episode. I'm going to close all this down. Okay, we're in January. First order of business is research. I've already selected all our researching. We're researching audio for the first time. So audio 1996. And the reason I decided to research audio is because we're also developing our first audio application. So it's good to start getting into research. That way your audio application will always be the one with the latest technology. We have filters on for marketing and research right now. Get rid of these. Everything comes up. We're updating Extras Pro, updating Defender, updating Thunder Cards, updating Wins Pro, all for bugs. The way we do that is, I've shown you guys in the past, the trip to show you, we'll bring it up and I'll tell you how many bugs. And the trip 2 looks like it has 510 bugs, verified, unfixed. If we wanted to, we could just put this on the SCM. We have core and update 1 working on all the updates. I usually put whoever doesn't have anything to do along with the updates team. And I've been contemplating making a new update team for the night. We stay consistent with them being the only ones doing anything. And who has nothing to do? No. Okay, so let's go here. As who has nothing to do? Pro Hardware has nothing to do. Pro Hardware is the development team, and Design Games 2 has nothing to do. So that would be a queue to get a design going. What games do we have in development right now? Architect, Space. Architect and Space, we only have 2. Wizard Cards, Neptunians, and Sergeant Stone. Also in development. These are in development, these are in design phase. So what are we? Let's go look at this. So we have Sergeant Stone, which first person shooter. Neptunians are RPG. Wizard Card is a RTS. And Design Games 2. We have them covering the tail end of this. First person shooter, RTS, and sports. And then we have Design Games covering RPG, adventure, and simulation. That's the way that's broken down. This is basically what we're going to be covering. Everything that's going to provide you with the information that you need to manage these things. How to set up strategies I use. Okay, so that being said, RPG is covered, RTS is covered, and first-person shooters covered. So we're missing sports, adventure. The adventure is covered down here in Space 2. And what we're missing is sports. What was the best sports game? We want to see what was the best sports game we had. Oh, the only sports game we've had is Thunder Cards, which is racing. Yes, I think we made 23 million. That was our highest grossing, so I think it's sequel time. Thunder Cards 2, and I like to make the 2. Use the Roman numerals for the 2. Also, we have yes, we do. We have a framework, so let's use it. This should be SEM. And we're going to keep it push up. Now, multiplayer, we already have. Why is this at 72%? Expected interest. I know why. Go to auto balance. That's going to change. Take this off. Go to auto balance. And it changes to 100%. Graphics is advanced hub. Push that all the way up. Okay, what does the analysis say? Graphics. That is what the analysis says. That's basically, and if we go here, balance everything out, recorded dialogue will give us that. Story. Multiplayer up there. This will advanced hub. Branchy story. That's going to give us that balance. So I want multiplayer. Well, we could use 3D and not use shadows at all, not use anything, just make it 3D compatible. We could use branching story. Customer doing had a character. The original had a character, so might as well leave them there. Okay. That's a lot of ways. It's just going to be a longer development time, about a year. Right now we are at about a year. Why? Maybe we're only at about a year. I got 97% more. Oh, we haven't chosen any editors. 3D editor. We're always going to use our own, and that will knock our 3D down to 92. And this has nothing. So what is the latest item out? 94 was a great. Did the highest amplitude. Nobody we're invested in. Maybe a hard one to follow here. Okay, we got X system and Pro. Those are our two. We got O-Box, which is something that we have invested in. And then if we go to the most active, Opti and Int would be in this. I was going to say wireless switch, but that's not in the ballpark. They're not eligible. Okay, this makes it approximately 2 years. If I take one of these off, will it make a difference? Yeah, about a year. So let's add X Pro for now. Opti and Int. Would that make a difference? It's going to be 2 years anyway, so might as well add the other ones in. One's Pro and O-Box. It's going to be 2 years anyway. So that's how you figure that out. Lingo for the multiplayer. We're going to previous $74.99. Okay, and who are we doing this for? Design games to sports, which means we're going to select none here. I'm going to select one for this one. Programs 2 and $69.89 for my lead. We're going to go with Pauline Barnes. We're going to try her out. Give her something to do. Give Cheryl Christensen a break. She's got 63.93 and 69.89. Not that much difference. Software is very, very complex. Yes, I know. Everything is complex. If we're concerned with all that, we never get anything done. Okay, this has to go down on the cards. So we hit that once, and that goes up. In fact, let me get this up here. I want down my antivirus at the bottom. If you double click towards the top, it goes up. One quick tip. Okay, so we're researching system, hardware, 3D, and network, all in 1996. And we're doing all these updates, and I want to do it with the updates. Just push them up to 5. They get all done. Another update. Why is this update all the way down here? Okay, with the updates. Okay, which one has the highest count? 2 out of 7, 4 out of 8, 2 out of 4, 7 out of 8. That's up to 10. Makes sense. Okay, we're going to go look at our releases. I'm going to put this in the order of first release, clean code, release, units sold. Past month, nothing was sold. Okay, so what I do with these is we do a dramatic price change If that doesn't work, getting anything sold, office, nothing was sold in the past month. Change price. Did I just change price for that? Change price. Or change it for this? I guess I changed it for this prior. Nothing was sold. Change price. This one was 40, so this one is 45. The more recent I want to make change price 130. Make this 110. And Pro. And I'm going to change the price for a few months, and then we're going to start letting these get archived. I think they get archived after they've been unactive for a while. I forget how long it is. Drop that to 75. Games that still have focus games, we could always, whenever we release a new console or anything, or anybody releases a new console, we could always port games. And what kind of porting are we doing now? Nothing. We're only porting Space. And that's what just came up, Space. So let's go look at Space. What's the most active? 500,000 console. 500,000 for console. I'll port that, and that was just added to this port automatically. Games you could always port with hopes of selling more. Pro games too. This you want to sell, because you're going to start announcing a new one soon. City Builder you want to port it to. What I'm doing is Pro games. Whoever created it, that's all. It's a no-brainer. Only one person you could port to other than Wins 3 that, which is not out yet, which is makes no sense to port to something that's not out yet. Unless we're getting close to a release and you could port to it. By the time they finish, the release is out. Defender, no. No. Maze, yes. Port to Maze. The Maze is RTS, which is Pros too. Pro games too. Same thing, girl. The latest we could port it to 2. Okay, we can push these ports up. Oops, we're getting them out. Right click on it and it closes it. Right click on it and it closes it. And you right click on it to open it again. Okay, next thing on the agenda is distribution, software, printing. What I normally do is I knock all these down to 500. With Pro, that should be 500. And this is only 14, 23, 2018. We got quite a bit in stock. This is only 2,000, which is nice. Bonus pack. These things, we didn't make any much money, but we're going to look at how good we did in these in a minute. And so it says 0. We never sold anything of this. Bonus pack. That's terrible. Extra pack, bonus pack, and DLC. Print sold. Okay, that's got to be print sold last month. Maze. We sold 142,000. Okay, Maze. Net units sold 155. Okay. So what has made us money? What has not made us money? Add-ons. I want profits. And I'm gonna wait. Expansion packs are gonna be in the top with no profit. Okay, Defender just went up in 94 and hasn't made us any profit. The reason Defender hasn't made us any profit, that is the first subscription service. So we took a loss. Went into subscription too early. I think subscriptions, you gotta wait till year 2000 and beyond. And we're gonna test that because we're gonna go with Defenders 2 to release after 2000. That's in development now. Strip Office, May 4. This May 4, 5, 6, 10, 16. So our big winner is Wins Pro. And then after that, Wins OS. Operating systems at the top. After the operating systems, we have console. And then there's games. Undercards. Made us 32. Base made us 21. PC OS, console OS, and games at the top. And then Wins Pro comes in after that. And City Builder, but City Builder is a game, so they get strength into the games. Add-ons. Let's see how much money we made with add-ons. And airlines are the only place where we have releases that were not outstanding. So we're gonna have to look at that. Are we doing these too early? Are we doing these too late? Okay. What is our big money maker here? Profits. 29 mil. Extreme Pro joystick for O-Box. We made that for O-Box. That was a big money maker. Galactics was our first joystick, and that was next in line, 24 mil. From there on down, it just drops. Nobody else, none of these bonus packs, our Elite Pro dropped. Unavoidable, outstanding, and it still only made 5 million because of the other controllers on the market. We're going to change price for this thing. It went out to 120. I had changed it to 110. We're going to do it 99.99. It helps us selling. X Control, joystick, and Sparks Marketing. That was our first release. X Systems. So we're going to have to be smart, develop a strategy for when we make a console release, our joysticks, we got to make them better than anybody else's, and the price has to be lower. And then we'll be cannibalizing our own, but we got to make sure that we don't do it within the 2 to 3 years. But these two guys are top dogs, probably. Okay, frameworks. Question came up, why are frameworks any good? Frameworks reduce your time in development. It reduces your time in the whole development of the application. And something that a lot of people don't know, and I found this out on Reddit, people asking the question, are frameworks really good? I said, yes, they are. You reduce the time, but aren't they outdated? If you do update your products, you're updating the framework. Little secret that a lot of people don't know. Why do we have this and this? So frameworks are important. And the way I use frameworks is my first OS, I try to get a framework on it. The reason being that my second OS, I always want to have 3D in it. And once you're into development with 3D and you get 3D into the alpha state, once you should start an OS right away. Once your OS is into the alpha stage, we could start designing and developing your 3D application. All you need is that OS with 3D in the alpha stage, and you could start developing your application. And if you have a framework on the OS, that'll cut your time down, and you'll be first to market with 3D. Your OS with 3D in the market, and you'll be first to market with a 3D application also. You get that done, and then that's when you start researching system. When you start researching 3D, my suggestion is research 3D and research systems at the same time if you have the money. If not, just research 3D first. And the minute you research it, forget about patenting it. As long as the research is done, you don't have to patent it. You want to patent it, but as soon as the research is done, start your application, your OS. As soon as the research is done for 3D, start your OS. Those are the strategies I use, and I've found them to work. And that's what I'm looking for, audio. Okay, audio. Let me get these things up here. Okay, marketing architect, marketing audio. Okay, audio. We're developing audio core in R2. We're working on it. We just started, promoted it to the development stage. That's why we started researching. As soon as you have something and you have the money, add your researchers. What I did was, we looked at research. The research team had 4 audio designers. Research only had 4 audio designers, so I hired an additional 4. The 4 designers were in the day. I hired additional 4 in the evening team. So where are we going to go now? I'm trying to move forward. I'm trying to get some of these things out the door. And I keep talking and I keep forgetting. Okay, Hydrogen Stone is going to be our next. Okay, we have Trip Mobile in development, so that's going to be our first phone operating system. We hope to get that out in the next episode. So we're going to push forward for that. Okay, we're going into Teams. Information about Teams. Here's what I do with Teams. I make sure that everybody is on yes for HR. Everybody here says yes for HR. Reason being, if we go into here, I grab the first 2 art teams. Let me go look at this. A product has run out of stock. Let me guess. How many do they need? 37,000. There should be 40 on the pad ready for pickup. There's only 9 and 55. Our goal is 55. There's 9 in the past, so that should be covered in the next pickup. So back to our regular scheduled program here. Okay, select them HR management. You have to learn to manage these things. These things, salaries for both total about 25 mil. This is salary for both teams. So I push this to 50. And if you look at one, let's look at one at a time. I can explain this better. This is 20 mil. I push it to 50. This is 23. I push it to 50. Usually push it 25,000 more. Cover any expensive, any new hires, and or. Okay, this is something we've never seen before. So let's address it. The lead designer is working on a project with no inspiration, which can severely impact quality on the cars. I find lead. Okay, she has no inspiration. I didn't realize that. That was my bad. Who's got the most inspiration here? We're going to put Cheryl back on here. And in the next series, we're going to basically look at this closer. We'll put Cheryl back on there. I'm glad that came up. Okay, back to managing teams. So the next thing I want to do with teams is set a budget, double check everything, specification, make sure the specifications match 2D, 3D audio for art is good. And HR, automation, and socialization is what I go for my design and development teams and my art teams. So that's good. Tick here. I want my designers, I have a watch. I have a watch basically gets things done on time. All of these have their positives and negatives. Guess this, I have a watch, gets things done on time. So that's what I want my art team to do. For the day, hypochondriac, no. Nervous bladder, no. Forgetful, no. And the last one is coupled, which you guys heard me mention. Just right click on these to X them out. And that's what you want. For art, what I want is I have a watch. And we gotta X these out. Now I'm not gonna go through all these because I've done that already, as you can see. But I do have another one that I didn't do, which was core. Was it core? Or designer was? Designer was I didn't do. HR. I have the budget for training and new hires. Okay. Design OS. What I want to do for Design OS is try everybody that's new. These designated traits are basically for every new hire. Super focus. I want designers to be that. Super focus. I think that's a great trait for designer. That's why we're picking that. And this, and this can be extra. And lower, I think I went with that's a night out. Why am I always picking? Okay, HR management, pick. I have a watch. I want things done on time. Lawyers, patents on time. Get these patents done as quick as possible. I have a watch. And if you get somebody who is I have a watch and is a slow eater, those two, pick them. They work fast. Slow eaters tend to stay later and work later. These are the tips you get when you watch these videos. Marketing AM, I've always selected. That's fine. This, and this. Marketing, I want that's fine. For the marketing evening teams, you guys know I want night out. Port teams, marketing team, not a port team. Pick for AM, 4 PM. Fast learners, yes, I want fast learners. These are basically low level, and I want them to learn quickly. So that's a strategy there. And the development teams, yes, I budgeted for these guys already. No, I didn't. Proceeds up to 80. And specification means they're covering everything. But then the Pro one needs to cover everything. No, they don't need to cover hardware. My pick here is X. But now I'm Pro. Fast learners, no. But now I have a watch. Going forward, my designers to be super focused and my developers, programmers to be I have a watch. I'm going to finish the rest of these on my own. And I just wanted to give you guys a heads up. This is missing something. And Pro Games does not need hardware. That's why it's missing something. And the Pix is missing this program I want up there. That means every new hire. Oh, another thing I want, you have to specify how many programmers you need. That's what the yes is for. If they're in, basically, that's what I have to do with all of these. Specify how many. There's 7 in the team. Pro 3. I'm going to put 6 for now. But if somebody gets fired or somebody retires or anything, you want your manager in charge to hire a person right away. That's why you want all this, especially now that everybody's starting to. I will go through all these, and I think all of these up here I already did. Specify art, yes, 4. So most of these, you go through them, plan a budget, double check the skill sets, update their traits, make sure you select how many you want in the team, and usually you want to match or one less. If you're going to go with have a watch, you could go one less. The thinking behind that is the more efficient team. You could go one less person. But that's my strategies. That's how I look at that. That's how I manage that. If I didn't mention it before, I'm mentioning it now. Lower. Always assign a secondary task, marketing to lower. But that's what we use them for whenever they're not doing chasing a pattern. And once again, I want this going and I keep stopping it. Okay, so where are we with releases? We have Sergeant Stone. Oh, look. Defender is finished. And the cards is finished. That was 3 o'clock. Maze is finished. You could close them out and open them up again. Do you need to open them up again? How do you know? Let's go look at that. We got 169, 169, 117. All doable. I think I've said this before. How do you know? Let's get rid of the filter. Put these by I want these to last release on the bottom. Just click on the update. Okay, you're already updating. Click on the update. It says 0 verified left to fix, so you don't have to worry about them. I always check every day. An update is already in progress. Currently 9 verified bugs to fix it. That one you need. This one you're going to probably need. That's 0. And I'm not concerned about anything else above that. These are deals. Let's close that. Let's go to the prints. One more time. Okay, the prints I reduced them. If it's 29 here and it's 29 here, reduce this to 10. This is 44. Defender, I'm reducing this to 10. This is 135. I reduce it to 25. Okay, here we go. Nimbus Interactive has offered Adolf Hudson a lucrative employment offer. Do you want to counter their offer for $9.59 for $59? Adolf Hudson is one of our lead designers. You want to keep him? You say yes. You don't want to keep him? You say no. You want details? You go here. I have a watch. Walk it off. He's stressed. Generous optimist. Inspiration is not all that great. And I think his inspiration is not all that great because he's constantly doing lead and you gotta let them rest. Or like something we'll go over it in the next series. I'm gonna say yes, let's keep him for now. And all out, I don't know if anybody noticed that, but all of our print deals just got picked up. You go in here, you see they're all gone. Oh, because just picked up. Okay, these things, you see them flashing red, that means they're finished. They're marketing, so I'm not concerned. I'm going to ready to release. And let's go reviewing these. First one is past peer reviews. You want to see how many reviews you've done? They're here. Past peer reviews, that's what they're here. This is your server. You should always be in an SCM server. You could click SCM to double check this. In fact, let me close this. No, not close it. Right click, you close it. Let me go to 2D to show this one up. Here it says change software name. The reason I'm going to go to 2D is a small d. We're going to make it a big D. We got cap locks. Wonder how long have I done it. Okay, so that's how you change that name. And changing a name is another downside to project management. Once you have a project with applications in it, you cannot change their names. once it started. Project details, what's the next one? You want to know how many people are working on this? 6 programmers out of 7. Artists is 4 out of 3. And Janice is our lead. SEM, royalty 0%. Consumer reach 6,551. The project details are there. And the last one is the question mark. You guys can read through this. Alpha and beta. You read through that. That's basically a tutorial. You can continue it or cancel. Yes. That's what's here. Now, Sergeant Stone is at 89.90. Let's go see if we can get Sergeant Stone out the door. And while we're at it, I will double check my updates and patterns in my research. I'm going to move forward to see if we can get Sergeant Stone out the door. We can release that until maybe wins net. I'll bring you guys right back once we get closer. As soon as we take care of this, can drop 70,000. I'll bring you guys right back. Okay, guys, and we're back. We're in December 1997. Sergeant Stone is slated to release today. We fixed 243 bugs. We also have Neptunians going out in March of 98. We still have not been able to get Wins 3 net past the 98% code. If we look at it, they're 9.5 on the last review, so they're almost there. Okay, Sergeant Stone's gonna go out. Like I said, we're in December, so as soon as we release this, we're gonna go into January, and then we have to, as soon as we get into January, we have to look at all our research. So let's move forward, get this release out the door, and then we're gonna call it a day. We normally release at 9 a.m. We missed the window, no big deal. We're gonna release now. So let's go do this release. Nice. We'll check out. No copies to order. Sergeant Stone, it's another outstanding. Okay. 2 things you should do right away. Number 1, update only. Unclick patch bugs, or you want update only. Tap nothing. We're doing so much research on these things. We don't need to worry. 2D. Cruise, good, and mediocre. I guess we're going for good. Audio. I can't wait to get that audio out there and update our 3D. And that's going to be an update. And it's going to be in the bottom. And we got to grab it. And we got to bring it to the top. Well, step 1 of a release. Update. Take care of your updates. But we do have to port. And it is a FPS for Pro Games 2. As part of the port is fine. Unless you get another. We want to add these 2 guys here. And we want to add this guy. This should make us a pretty penny, because we also want to add these guys, because these guys just came out. And they were great and expiring. And they already have 149,000. Just looking amazed. No more people to port to. We're going to leave it there, folks. Next episode will be our last episode in this series. Then we'll start Impossible Difficulty. Thank you for your likes. Thank you for your shares. If you see something that you've learned, if you have any questions, if you've learned something and you're getting something out of the videos, considering a like, maybe a subscription. That being said, like, share, and subscribe. Stay safe. Keep those around you safe. LatN out.